Hey, what's up guys? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of the Wolves Career Mode. This is Season 1, Episode 12, and the January transfer window will commence in today's episode. If you guys are looking forward to that, make sure to drop a like on the video, as it really does help support the channel. But let's head over to the calendar, and I'll talk a little bit more about today's agenda. We'll begin by simulating our first match since the preseason tournament against Brentford, and I have a few reasons that I want to simulate this. One, it's a home match. Two, Brentford in the relegation zone. And three, I want to progress at least halfway through this transfer window in today's episode. And the only way to do so is by simulating one out of the four fixtures, and I feel like Brentford is probably the best pick. We will play our first match of the season in the FA Cup, and this is an important match because it is one of our objectives to reach the round of 32 in this competition. So I'll field a strong side for this Port Vale match, and then the semi-final of the Carabao Cup will commence. As you can see, it is a two-leg affair, so hopefully we can get things off to a strong start, pick up the W against Leeds, and then we will close out the episode against Barnsley away. In the middle of all these matches, I might get into some transfer business and some transfer news, and actually, I want to discuss which pre-contract player we'll look to sign. I gave you 5 options to choose from as to what player we should sign on a pre-contract deal, and I sort of stressed that I wanted to sign a defender just to add a little bit more squad depth, and you guys seem to get that hint, and you chose for me to sign Diego Reyes, the Mexican center back out of Porto, and he was actually my top choice as well, so I'm glad we agreed on that note. I've entered negotiations with Reyes and his agent, and we've already agreed upon a few terms. He'll be receiving a crucial squad role. It's a 3-year deal, and there's no release clause added to the transfer. Now we just need to get into the important stuff, the wage and signing bonus. I'm going to start negotiations at $15,000. That is above his current wage at Porto, and we'll see what they have to say. Regardless, he will be more or less signing for free, so we have a little bit more room to budget as to what he can receive for his contract. And already, they've agreed to the terms, so in my opinion, that is an absolute steal for Diego Reyes. He's already a 77 rated center back. He's going to make a big impact on our squad when he does join us next season, and I can't wait to actually see him in game. You may notice that I have a few other players in our transfer shortlist, and I do plan on signing one of these league center mids during the January transfer window on a permanent basis, meaning that they'll be joining the club in the near future. But first, I need to scout them out, and it's not too late for you guys to leave player suggestions, so if you have any players in mind that are center mids and have a fairly high potential and are young, let me know down in the comments section below. I'll read over the comments, and I'll look to add a few other players to our shortlist. With our transfer business complete for now, we can get into our monthly squad report, and I have a lot of players to cover, so let's get right into it. Burgoyne is a goalkeeper on loan, and I mentioned it in a previous episode, but it seems like there are set months that these loan players see sudden growth. And that was the case for Burgoyne. That'll also be the case for several other players in this squad report. I'm not going to talk about each individual statistic that saw growth because there are so many to cover. So if you want to look at any of those, just pause the video and you can go from there. Jack Ruddy also saw some growth, going up +2 to his overall rating, and he should not be confused with John Ruddy, our starting goalkeeper. But it's good to see some of our loan players grow all of a sudden. Flat went up +1 in his overall, and now moving on to some of our own players that are playing for us. Will Norris did not grow in his overall, but he went up +1 to his reactions and +1 to his vision. Doherty going up +2 to his stand tackle, +1 to his penalties. Dominic Orfa, I want to say I used him in my FIFA 16 West Ham career mode, and he was very good in that save. I look forward to him returning to us at Wolves and featuring him in a couple of matches. If he plays well and he grows a little bit more in his overall rating, then he may end up being our first choice right back ahead of Doherty, but we'll see when that time does come. But we still need to focus on our backup right back as of right now, Filifosu IA. He went up +1 to his finishing, +1 to his slide tackle. Connor Cody going up +1 to his reactions, +1 to his heading accuracy, and +1 to his long passing. Boley going up +1 to his marking and +1 to his shot power. Ryan Bennett going up +1 in his overall, +1 to his free kick accuracy, and +1 to his heading accuracy. Roderick Miranda going up +1 to his stand tackle and +1 to his curve. Couple other players to cover, and we'll start with Courtney House. He seems to grow every single month, and that was the case again. He went up +1 in his overall, going up +2 to his interceptions, +1 to his finishing, +1 to his short passing, +2 to his marking, +1 to his stand tackle, and +2 to his slide tackle. Bath going up +1 to his reactions, +1 to his short passing, +1 to his long shots. Daniel Amaral, we just signed him from our youth academy, and here's a closer look at his stats. I believe the growth that you see here in his overall is from the time that we signed him originally. a couple of months ago, so not just a couple of days ago. But he looks to be a pretty decent center back, and he can also play at the right back position. Looking at his status, he does have an exciting prospect status, so that's a pretty good potential. Maybe we'll do a little bit of player training on him so that he can grow in his statistics. And looking at his skill move and weak foot set, it's not great, but you can get away with 1-star skills as a center back. The 3-star weak foot is also pretty nice. So we may very well use him in this career mode. DeLon's went up +1 to his overall, +1 to his agility, +1 to his crossing, and +1 to his slide tackle. And lastly, we had Vinagre, who went up +1 to his acceleration, +1 to his ball control, +1 to his crossing, and +1 to his shot power. Moving on to our midfielders, we'll begin with Saiz. He went up +2 to his aggression, +1 to his vision, +1 to his penalties. Ndiaye going up +1 to his balance, +1 to his reactions, +1 to his marking. Nevish going up +1 to his interceptions, +1 to his vision, +1 to his short passing, +1 to his slide tackle, and +1 to his penalties. Gero going up +1 in his overall, +1 to his ball control, +1 to his long shots. Gibbs White going up +1 in his overall, +1 to his balance, +1 to his stamina, +2 to his vision, +1 to his dribbling, +4 to his long passing, +1 to his short passing, +1 to his stand tackle, and +1 to his penalties. Evans, another player that is on loan, he went up +1 in his overall rating. Graham went +1 in his overall rating, and Randall going up +2 in his overall. The last of our midfielders is Connor Ronan. He went up +1 in his overall, +1 to his ball control, +1 to his finishing, +1 to his marking, and +1 to his long shots. Our attackers are up next, and Podence went up +1 in his overall, +1 to his sprint speed, +1 to his attacking positioning, +1 to his ball control, +1 to his finishing, +2 to his heading accuracy, +1 to his shot power, +1 to his volleys, and +1 to his curve. Felix Meyer, another Youth Academy player that we just signed. Here's a look at his statistics, and as for his status, he does have the potential to be special. It's unfortunate that his weak foot and skill move set isn't great. 3-star skills is fine. 2-star weak foot is not ideal. I'd like having at least 3-star weak foot on a winger. Maybe we'll play him at that center mid position because that is one of his secondary positions. And you just never know with these Youth Academy players. Sometimes they can outplay their rating, and we'll see with time if Meyer can make the cut and fulfill that potential to be special. And Bakari went up +1 in his overall, +1 to his agility, +1 to his jumping, +1 to his ball control, +1 to his finishing, +1 to his volleys. Costa going up +1 to his strength, +1 to his vision, +2 to his short passing, +2 to his long shots. Wilson going up +1 to his jumping, +1 to his interceptions, +1 to his finishing, +1 to his long shots, +2 to his volleys. Bonatini going up +1 to his balance, +1 to his strength, +1 to his ball control, and +1 to his dribbling. Afobe going up +2 to his acceleration, +1 to his crossing, +2 to his short passing. I have a couple of lone players to talk about. Mason saw some growth in his individual attributes, no growth to his overall. Gladden went up +1, Nazon went up +1, and Ennis went up +2. Two more players to talk about, and the first being Cavallero. He went up +1 in his overall rating, +1 to his dribbling, and +1 to his free kick accuracy. And finally, we have Jota, who went up +1 in the last month, making him the first player to reach 80 overall in this career mode. That's a pretty cool sight to see. +1 to his acceleration, +1 to his short passing, and +1 to his stand tackle. Despite signing 2 Youth Academy players in the last episode, we still have several options to choose from, and of course we will talk about their growth as well. Mamuepa, his overall change from a range of 47 to 63, now stabilizing to a 56 overall. Potential staying the same at 75 to 94. Uba, overall staying the same at 60, potential changing from a 79 to 94, now to an 84 to 94. Fodio, his overall went up +1, 52, now to a 53. His potential changing from 75 to 94, now to a 72 to 90. Rui Faria, overall going up +1 from 56, now to a 57. Potential changing from a 77 to 94, now to an 82 to 94. And finally, we have Noronha. His overall stayed the same at 57. His potential changed from a 76 to 90, now to a 79 to 87. As it is match day, I won't be able to talk about our player training for this month quite yet, but once we simulate this match, I will be able to talk about it. So let's get into the simulated match against Brentford. We are fielding a strong lineup because we do have time to rest, and Brentford are not in the best of form. I think I mentioned earlier they are in the relegation zone, and with 2 losses and 1 draw out of their last 3 games, I feel like we have to be the favored side, especially considering we are at home. But still scoreless 20 minutes into the match, an early yellow card for Woods from Brentford. And as we near towards the halftime break, we will go into the break 0-0. Hopefully we can change things around and get a goal. We are still the highest scoring team in the championship, and that is not on display today. With just 10 minutes left, Podane's able to get the goal in the 79th minute, and we hang on to the clean sheet, picking up the 1-0 result, and also acquiring a crucial 3 points in the league. Not too many changes to our player training for this month. We're still working on House's defending, Nevish's long passing, Gibbs White long passing, and Bakare, we swapped Costa for him, and he'll be working on his attacking positioning, finishing, and shot power. The same exact drill for Podane's. We've received an interesting message from Cavallero, who is unhappy about his playing time. It's tough for him to get starts because we have Elder Costa starting ahead of him. I still rate Cavallero as a player, and I'll be trying my best to feature him in the squad more often. Just to stress the importance of this FA Cup match, the board does want us to reach the round of 32 stage of that competition, and our domestic success is a high priority to the board, so I think that will be reflected in our starting 11. I have rotated the side around quite a bit, but I'm still feeling very confident about our starting 11, and I think that speaks volumes about the quality and the depth of this Wolves side. We can bring out our second choice players and still feel very good about the match. I have to say, I love the FA Cup. One, these graphics are sick, and two, it always seems to provide for some upsets. Hopefully, Port Vale won't cause an upset today. Some great football right here. And Sai's playing through Bonatini. He just needs a shoe. He's off balance, but he's still able to get a shot on target. And I want to see more of that out of our strikers. Coming off an episode where we weren't able to score a lot of goals, we just need to get efforts on target. This is Bakare with a little bit of space. If he can get by and get a shot off, this could be a chance. And Leighton needs to make a save. We have been playing well so far. Our fullbacks and wingers have gotten very involved. And we'll play this one out wide to Gibbs White. He scored a long shot several episodes ago. Doesn't look like that'll be the case right now. But we are still looking for the pass. This is Vinagre. Let's talk about our fullbacks getting involved, and here he is again. Holding it up. Gets taken out. Ref, how is that not a penalty? There we go. This is Bonatini turning a few defenders. It needs to be a finesse shot by him, and that one being off target. Usually, Bonatini is clinical from that sort of area, and the angles looked right, but it goes just wide. Here's Saiz again. Finding Bonatini, now holding up the play, looking for an option out wide, and we are just one pass away from being through on goal, and the pressure has been very good right now. This is a Fosuaye playing in the middle. Bonatini needs to finish. Another save from the Port Vale keeper. He has been their MVP. It was a dominant first half from us, but a heroic effort from the Port Vale keeper has kept them in it, and that's what I like to see from the FA Cup. Although I want to be on the winning side of things, I can admire some good performances. No way is Port Vale going to score from that one. Plenty of time left in this, but I do not want to be conceding those sort of goals. It was a sloppy one to concede, but fair play to them. They've made most of their second chance throughout the entire match. We're going to make some attacking-minded changes. Bakare coming off and Podane's coming on. We'll also bring Jota in at the left wing position. I also want to switch up the midfield. We'll swap in Connor Ronan. Podane's turning by the defender, shooting. That one's off target. And now it's starting to get into the time where I'm feeling uncomfortable. 8 minutes left. They're making substitutions. We need to go ultra attacking or all out attack if we even want to get back in this. 7 saves from the Port Vale keeper. This is probably the last attack for us. And Jota is through. He's looking for the sweat across, and it's there! Courtney House is in the right place at the right time, and we're able to get the equalizer with probably seconds left in this one. I went all out attack because that's what we had to do. And the man who has shined in this career mode is probably our best youth prospect, Courtney House, gets the late equalizer. Credit to Port Vale, they survived for 90 minutes and held on to the lead, but we were the better team today in my opinion. They had the better goalkeeper, but we had the better side all around. 12 shots, 8 on target, 56% of the possession. I'll take that in every single match. And man, the match, of course, going to Courtney House with a 9.3 rating. I believe we'll now be replaying this match at a later date. We've been informed that some extra funds have been added to our transfer budget, and we'll absolutely take that. That'll fund another scouting network or the signing of another youth academy player. I would argue that this is going to be the highlight match of the episode. It's impressive that we've reached the semifinal of the Carabao Cup, but at this point, we need to start thinking about winning the entire competition. And Leeds are a good opponent, but I feel like we stack up well against them, especially with the lineup that we have available today with a fully rested side. Here's a look at the sides remaining in the competition. It'll either be Sheffield Wednesday or Southampton that we play against if we can get by Leeds. Out of all the sides in the championship, I want to say Leeds stack up the best against us. So it's interesting that we've been matched up in this competition. Good interception in a dangerous position. We might be through here with Podence. And he's gotten by a few Leeds players. Now playing it out wide. That wasn't exactly the pass and the run I was trying to do. But we're looking promising so far. Leeds are making mistakes out of the back end. We'll try to capitalize on that. Oh, how is that a pen? Bully was just going with the jockey, and I felt like he stayed on his feet for the most part. Didn't make any rash tackles, but the Leeds player goes down. And now it will be Ruddy who needs to step up in a big match for us. We'll see if he can make the save, or even if we can get this rebound cleared away. I'm going to go off to my left. And he chips it to the right. Cheeky stuff from the Leeds player. They go up 1-0. This is how you answer right back. Costa with the shot on target. Wiedwald makes the save. But I want to see more of that. Just testing the keeper and hoping that maybe a rebound can go our way. We do get a corner kick out of it. And now Podence playing this one around. Cody now to Bully. Nice fake shot. He'll have a go. And takes another deflection. This time we'll do it from the opposite side and try to set it across. We have a phobia in there. We have Bully. And it goes to neither. Connor Cody spotting out an open player. Neves playing it through. Some nice passing. And this might work out. I don't know what's happening, but it's 1-1. Flickiify just getting a tap-in goal when he was off balance. But to be fair, the goal Leeds scored was also a little bit questionable. And I think it's a fair result now. Nice tackle from Douglas. And we're able to regain possession. Podence spotting out the run in the middle. He'll slip it through to Neves, holding off the Leeds player. And just needs someone to make an attacking run in the final third. Flickiify turning one defender, looking for options around him. And no one really showing. Looks like we'll be going into the break 1-1. And it should make for an interesting second half. I'm actually surprised at these statistics. I didn't realize we registered 5 shots, 4 on target, and held on to that much possession. But keeping that in mind, I'm just going to apply the same mentality in this next 45 minutes, and we should be able to get the second goal and go into the second leg with a very good lead. And Dye spots out the run, and he will play it over to Phoebe, who's now holding it up, looking for our right winger. And maybe if he played it outside instead of inside, that could have been a chance for Costa to maybe cut in on his strong foot. But we'll keep the pressure up, and I like how many chances we are creating in this match. Just stringing together passes. And we'll do it again here. Costa making the run. He'll cut in on his left foot. The finesse shot. That's a great save from Wiedwald. And we are looking very dangerous. Well, we looked like the better team, but a set-piece tactic has worked out to perfection for Leeds. I feel a little bit hard done to concede 2 goals of the manner that we've conceded. One a penalty and one kind of a sloppy rebound goal that had a couple of bobbles inside the box. We will make some substitutions though. Jota coming off and Enabakare being brought on. Cavallero swapping Costa at the right wing position. Oh, that's going to be a goal, isn't it? 3-1 for Leeds. They caught us on the counter, and now we need to score at least 1 goal if we want to stay in this competition. If we can score with being down just 1 going to the second leg, we can bring it back, but 2, I'm not sure about. It's off the post from Cavallero. The goalkeeper didn't even touch it. We are still creating chances. I'm trying to stay positive here. Flickiify. Finesse shot. Another save from Wiedwald. I want to say that's his 6th save in this match. But still 5 minutes left. If we keep pressing, we can get this goal. And I know it's coming. We just need the right opportunity to come up. That's a great tackle from Berardi, and that'll waste a few more minutes for Leeds. It's full time, and we'll go into the second leg down 3-1. I'm not disappointed at all in our player performance. We looked very good in the statistics. 8 shots, 6 on target, 56% of the possession. Few calls went against us, and we conceded a few unfortunate goals, but I'm still feeling okay going into the second leg. We're obviously going to need to put in a very good performance, but I know we're capable of it. Man of the match today going to a Kuban, an 8.9 rating. A look at the league table ahead of our final match of the episode against 11th place Barnsley sees us just 1 point short of Reading for the top spot. They have not made the most of their opportunities when we drop points to really increase the gap between us and them. Now, if we can pick up a draw or even better, a win, we might take over that first place spot. I would like to close out this episode on a high note, and I have actually switched around our custom tactics to something that I more regularly use in Ultimate Team. I didn't know why I didn't do this earlier, because in career mode, I guess I never really thought into it too much, and I always chose one of these preset custom tactics, but this is what I will be using. I've changed things around pretty drastically, allowing for us to kind of get up and down the pitch more quickly, by increasing our speed and then playing some very high pressure for our defense. Here's a pretty interesting statistic. Despite being in a decent league position, Barnsley have scored the least goals in the championship. To be honest, I think the formation choice probably plays a big role in that. They're using a very defensive 4-5-1. Okay, that'll be a goal within 2 minutes. Is that a matter of our custom tactics coming into play, or is it just a stroke of luck? I don't know, but I'll absolutely take it. We're off to a good start. And look at our players just wanting to get in goal-scoring positions. This is absolutely brilliant. Why didn't I change my custom tactics earlier? I focus on this so much in Ultimate Team, but I've never taken it that seriously in career mode. Okay, this is absolutely ridiculous. We nearly get a third, 13 minutes into the match. And this is a game changer, guys. Like, compared to Ultimate Team, career mode gameplay can be sluggish at times, but I feel like my custom tactics were making our gameplay sluggish. By increasing the speed and playing very high pressure, this is a completely different team and a completely different experience as we play through Bonatini, who can't quite get there. Oh, that's going to be a pen. A chance for us to make it 3-0 before the halftime break, and will it be a card as well for the Barnsley defender? No, it will not. I think it's going to be Leo Bonatini to step up and take this one. If I recall correctly, he did make his last penalty by putting it off to the right. This time we'll try it to put it off to the left, mix things up a little bit. And that one ended up being more down the middle more than anything, and it's saved from the keeper. Despite missing that penalty kick, I'm having about as much fun on career mode as I've had in the last couple of weeks. Adjusting those custom tactics are making the players make the runs that I want them to make, and it gives me options in the attack, which is something we have been lacking lately. Since we're off to such a strong start, I'm comfortable making our changes now. Jota will be coming off, and we'll debut Meyer, getting his first appearance for Wolves. I'll also bring on Ronan for Podaince. Good tackle from Seiss. We have options in the middle. And this is Connor Ronan making a run. It needs to be a finesse shot, and he will put that away off the post and in. It's 3-0 for Wolves, and it's another goal for Connor Ronan, who, I've mentioned it earlier, but he seems to make an impact on every match that I feature him in, as he tells me to calm down. But man, I really do enjoy how this guy plays in game, and I hope he can be a talent for us in the future. Following that goal, I think it's best if we make one more substitution. Nevish will be brought off, and Prince will be swapped on. This is purely for fitness reasons. Well, this will likely be the last attack or last chance of the match. A corner kick for Barnsley. They whip it in, and we do get that one cleared. If we can get forward on the counter, could be a fourth, but we will take the 3-0 result and the clean sheet. Our stats look very similar to the matches that we've been losing, but this time around we win at 3-0. I think our custom tactics did play an impact on this match. It just seemed like the players were in the right position more often than not. Man of the match today going to Leo Bonatini with a 9.5 rating, but there were also several other players that could have received man of the match. But guys, that'll bring an end to today's episode of the Wolves Career Mode. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video. If you're interested in following me on my social links, I have links to those down below in the description. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.